welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is your boy EXF at EXFGaming, and today I'm bringing to you a video which I was actually kind of thinking about for the last couple days since we have the announcement about the legendary banner, and I actually did some research and came to a conclusion on why the banner itself isn't as great as we initially thought. Now, if you have your own comments and discussions, definitely leave it in the comment section below, but let me start the discussion as to why and how I concluded this. Credit goes to Evello37 and NapKatti on Reddit for providing this information. I actually was trying to do my own calculations, but I just searched it online and I found that some people have already done the calculations, so I'm not gonna really bother myself in trying so hard in grinding up all these numbers. But anyways, so we know for the summon rates in the legendary banner, it is 8%. That means that some of that percent will go to the 4-star and 3-star units. I believe it'll probably most likely go all in the 3-star units, but that's what Evello based his calculations on. So we know that the red focus units, Celica, Arya, Ike, blue focus units, Vijoram, Kaida, and Xander, green focus Hector, Judri, Camilla, Jenny from the block, Bridal, Cordelia, and Lynn as the colors units. So we have 12 focus units in the banner, and at the same time all other 5-stars are wiped as a potential summon. So when you think about it, it actually reduces the chances of you actually getting a 5-star. Now, this may sound good initially because it just means that whenever you get a 5-star, you'll get a focus unit, but at the same time, if you're a free-to-play player, this might, or sorry, a pay-to-win player, not free-to-play. Free-to-play is, it's more or less, you know, it's a good thing, more or less. But for a pay-to-win winners, pay-to-win players, especially for those people who want to actually level their units up to a +10 unit, this might actually be a disadvantage in terms of what you can get. So let's get into the calculations here. So Evello originally did the calculations for the probability of actually getting the number of orbs in a single session. So, you know, if you go to the summon session, then how many orbs you can get? 0 reds is 17%, 0 blues 22%, 0 green 34%, colors, and so on and so forth. So we know that the highest rates we could see are most likely the reds because they have the most units in the game. So, you know, you'll definitely see somewhere between, you know, 2 to 3 on average of reds on the summon sessions. You know, blues maybe 2. Again, 1 to 2. Greens, most likely 1. Obviously, we can see that here. 40.91% as 1. Colorless, again 1 at 39.27. So it's really interesting, as you know, like, well, I mean, the way this is calculated is just based on the number of units in the game, obviously. So that's how it is. It's not really that hard. If you took a statistic course in high school or even in college, then this is easily, you can generate this very easily. But anyways, moving on. So with that, using these numbers as a basis, you could actually calculate the odds of the rarity pool. And as you can see, the 5-star rates is 6.82% for the reds, 7.68 for the blues, 10.46 for the greens, 7.84 for the colorless, and then 4 stars and 3 stars as respectively. We don't really care about those two, but they aren't actually that off from the original poll rates, so that's actually good. So the rates are at 8%. It starts at 8%, but once actually you consider all the calculations of the calculations in terms of the quantities of colors in a single summon session, the 8% does get reduced for the reds, blue, and colorless, but the greens do get a buff. Now, the reason why the greens do get a buff is because there's just less green units in general, which allows you to be able to pull the focus units a lot easier, right? So they have greater chance of actually pulling them. So you actually get reduced rates in terms of the 8% for all the other colors, and that means that when we actually come down to the odds of pulling a specific unit, so this is in one session, right? So in one orb pull, this is the rate that you can summon the focus unit. So we're not going to worry too much about the 4 and 3 stars. The red units, so it's 2.27%, so that's at a single session. So if I went to the summon section screen and just pick on the red orb, 2.27% to actually get a 5-star, 2.56 to get a 5-star blue unit, 3.49 to get a green unit, and 2.61 to get a colorless unit. So now this, you know, it all seems dandy, and some of you may not understand the math that's going on, but that's fine. It just means that it's a lot lower than what is actually presented. The event told us that it's 8%. Yes, 8% of 5 stars in the actual screen, but when it comes to real math, real pulling, the reality of it, I guess I should say, is that it's a lot lower than what is presented. Now, if we go to NapKatti's calculations, now I'm not gonna present like everything, all of his findings. I just put all the important points. Of course, the focus units are Mia, Lute, and Dorcas from the Far-Fetched banner. This is the latest banner that we have here with new units. So with that, odds of pulling the focus unit is 3.33 for Mia, or red units in the legendary banners. You know, it's the equivalent of a red unit in the legendary banners. 5.26% for Dorcas and 3.8% for Lute. Now, this is actually really interesting, because this is actually in correlation to this chart down over here. So if we actually base, you know, the Far-Fetched banner with the legendary banner, we actually get a drop in actual summoning rates for our focus units, right? For one single summon, right? This is not multiple summon, this is one single summon. It's 3.33% to get a Mia in one single summon session, sorry. 2.27% to get a 5-star in one single summon. 5.26 to summon Dorcas in one session, and 3.49 to summon a green unit in one session. Lute, 3.8%, and obviously 2.56 correlation. So we actually get a drop in per session basis. Per session basis, we get a drop. Now, obviously, in terms of just pulling any 5-star, right, there is, you know, it's kind of a mix between yes and no. Like it's good, it's kind of bad. So odds of pulling any 5-star in the Far-Fetched banner is 6.85%, and pulling any of the red units in the legendary banner 6.82%. So there's not much of a difference. So this isn't affected as much. As you can see, the blue unit 7.68%, and it is 6.8%. So there is a buff in the legendary banner by 1%. Okay, so 1% increase for the blues. You know, does that make or break? I'm not too sure. The greens get a buff of 2% in the legendary banner, and the colorless get a huge buff in the legendary banner by almost 5%. So in terms of how great this banner is, right, in terms of being able to pull 5 stars, I'm not too sure if it's as good as they say it is, right? Because right now we're seeing that if we actually want to take the best, you know, of this, we want to pull for the colorless orbs, right? So those units are Jenny from the block, Bridal, Cordelia, and Lynn, and those are the only 3 units you can actually summon. So if you really think about it, right? If you really think about it, what you should be summoning on, based on what I've seen here, based on what I found really, is that you need to focus your summons on the colorless orbs and also on the green orbs. Those are the 2 orbs that you should focus on, because between the red and the blues, there's really not much difference in terms of your rates. Your rates doesn't change that much, right, from just regular summons. So I would definitely suggest you, for all those people watching, to focus your time on the green and colorless orbs. Now, of course, if you have specific units that you want between the reds and the blues, like Celica, Ike, even Frijorum, I mean, you're gonna get her, or Friorum, you're gonna get her as a free unit, so you probably won't focus too much time on her. Spring Festival Xander, not a popular unit, but if you're a collector like such as myself, you probably might want to get him, or Bridal Kaida as well. So, but I mean, between the reds and the blues, I don't see anything or anybody specific that you need. I mean, I'm sure most people have Ike already. Arya is a really good unit, but reds aren't that useful in the current meta, so I would suggest you stay away from reds and blues. Of course, green units, and colorless are pretty much what you want. Hector is a beast, as we know. Deirdre is a defensive resistance beast. Sorry. Camilla is a really good addition to any Fire Emblem team, and in the colorless section, Lynn is really good. She's a busted unit, of course, and Bridal Cordelia. So definitely, I mean, if you want Jenny for raffle stop, definitely you can get her as well. But these 6 units are really what you want from this banner, right? So this is what you want from the banner, and these are not what you really want from this banner because she's free, and the rest aren't as useful. So let me know what you guys think. I think I laid it down simple enough. Like I didn't want to complicate the video too much, but in summary, what you want to take out of this video for sure is the fact that the rates for the blues and greens, sorry, the reds and blues have not changed at all. I shouldn't say that, have not changed as much in terms of all the other banners, but the greens and colors have, and you need to take advantage of the green and colors pull rates. So that's all I have for you today. I will have my summon video out in about an hour or so from now, so definitely check that out. Hopefully I pull a lot of you know, units, specifically Hector, Bridal Cordelia, and Spring Camilla. Those are the units I want. So anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. I'll see you guys in my next installment.